All right, let's talk about something that's, well, kind of scary. There's a hidden danger that could be hiding right inside the walls of your home: faulty electrical wiring. It's one of those things you just don't think about until you really, really have to.
But what if your home is already trying to send up a flare? What if it's giving you clues right now that something's not right? The scary part is, most of us are just ignoring them.
But here's the good news. You don't need to be an electrician or have a bunch of fancy tools to spot these warnings. In this explainer, we're going to show you how to find them using the one toolkit you were born with, your own senses.
Okay, so let's get into what we're calling the silent warnings. See, the thing is, faulty wires almost never just suddenly fail in a big dramatic spark. Nope. Instead, they give off these little clues, these quiet warnings that are super easy to blow off if you don't know what you're looking for.
So let's kick things off with the first big sign: flickering lights. I mean, come on, we've all seen this, and it's probably the single most ignored warning sign there is.
And this, right here, shows you exactly why that's so dangerous. On the left, that's our first thought, right? It's just a loose bulb, or maybe the power grid's a little shaky today. But the reality, on the right, well, that's way more serious. That little flicker you see is actually caused by tiny sparks, what electricians call arcs, jumping across a bad connection somewhere inside your wall.
So what do? Simple. First, just pay attention. Is it the same light in the same room doing it over and over again? Second, do the obvious check. Make sure that bulb is screwed in tight. But if you've done that and it still keeps happening, that's your cue. It's time to call an electrician. Seriously, don't put it off.
Okay, on to the next warning sign. For this one, you're going to have to use your sense of touch. We are talking about electrical outlets or even light switch plates that feel warm.
And again, it's so easy to just dismiss this. You might touch the outlet cover and feel a tiny bit of warmth and think, oh well, my phone charge has been plugged in for a while. But what's really going on is that a fault in the wiring is creating a ton of extra heat, and that heat has to go somewhere.
Here's a little pro tip for you. When you check your outlets, use the back of your hand. Your skin there is way more sensitive to temperature. And just remember this one simple rule. A healthy outlet should always be cool to the touch. It should feel exactly the same as the wall around it. Any warmth at all is a major red flag.
Now, if you do find a warm outlet, listen up, because these steps are not suggestions. First, stop using it. Unplug whatever's in there right now. Second, if you're comfortable doing it, go to your breaker box and shut that circuit off completely. And third, call an electrician immediately. This is not a wait-and-see kind of problem. All right, sign number 3. This one taps into maybe our most primal warning system, our sense of smell. I'm talking about that weird, faint burning smell that you just can't quite place. Now, this is not the smell of burnt popcorn. It's different. It's kind of sharp, like hot plastic or melting rubber. And what you're smelling is literally the plastic coating around a wire melting because it's getting way too hot. You should think of this as the actual smell of a fire before it starts. And here's the critical part. You're looking all over the room for the source, right? The toaster's off, the oven's cold. You can't find it. That's because the source is hidden. It's almost always inside a wall or a ceiling fixture where a wire is getting dangerously hot.
Okay, let's talk about sign number 4. This is one we are all guilty of just writing off as a simple annoyance, that circuit breaker in the basement that just keeps tripping. It really is this simple. A circuit breaker has one job and one job only. It trips for one reason. It senses that too much electrical current is trying to flow through the circuit it's protecting. That's it. It's not broken, it's a safety device doing its job perfectly. So we really have to change how we think about this. A breaker that trips all the time isn't the problem. It's a warning system telling you that there is a problem somewhere else in that circuit. Ignoring it or just constantly resetting it is like taking the batteries out of your smoke alarm because you don't like the beeping. So here's how you can figure it out. First, notice which breaker it is. Then go to that part of the house and unplug everything. I mean, everything. Now go back and reset the breaker. If it trips again with absolutely nothing plugged in, you've found your culprit. The problem isn't your stuff, it's inside the walls. That's when you make the call. All right, so let's pull all this together into a super simple, actionable safety check you can do literally the minute this explainer is over. Here you go, your 4-point checklist. Just take a walk through your house and be mindful. Watch for those lights that have that persistent flicker. Feel your most used outlets with the back of your hand. Sniff the air for any of those weird, plasticky smells you can't explain. And make a mental note of that one breaker you're always having to flip back on. And look, if you find any one of these signs, even just a hint of one, the next move is always the same. This isn't the time to guess or to think, oh, I'll check on it next week. The risk is just way too high.
So here's the bottom line. Your home is communicating with you. These signs, this is its language. And now that you know how to listen, the only question left is, when your house speaks up, who are you going to call for help? The answer every single time should be a licensed electrician. Please stay safe out there.